Okay. I think we did discuss last time a couple of things, right, on stress patterns in English. So we'll continue with that. I hope you have already looked at them. You know, some of those things, uh, all of them actually, not some of those things. Most of the things that we've discussed have been, I think, explained to you in the lecture. Uh, we're just doing a revision sorts for this, right? Even the suffixes, maybe not all of them are discussed in the lectures, but you can, I have just compiled a few, something that I can say put together based on whatever corpus is available, right? So, and also is available in the literature on stress. So, we have put this together now. We'll discuss on the suffixes and stress patterns. We discussed everything which was about monosyllabic and disyllabic mostly in the last session. Remember, when we're talking about suffixes, it's a given thing that now we are discussing about polysyllabic words, right? Polysyllabic is basically anything that is about some would say about two, some would say about three, right? Anything that constitutes syllables that are more than three could be then considered polysyllabic, right? That's the point. So suffixes then, because they all come from, they're derived, right? So either they are derivative adjectives or they're derivative adverbs, right? They originally would have been something else, right? In the sense they could have been verbs or they could have been nouns, or sometimes even verbs that become noun, right? A good example, I think, would be the word computer, right? So you had the verb compute, and then from compute you had computer, right? So these kind of derivations, wherein the word class of the word, given word changes, is a very common phenomena across all languages, not just English, right? This can even happen in that case. In the cases of other languages, right? This is not a language specific property. So suffixation or prefixation or affixation, for that matter, all of them are part and parcel of the word formation strategies in English, right? Now, in English, particularly, when this change happens, right, when you have either a suffixation, particularly suffixation, we are not discussing other properties like prefixation, but particularly in case of the addition of suffix, um, the feature of stress does get affected in the English language, right? So we saw this in the case of the words refugee and trainee, and that was particularly in relation to the presence of a diphthong or a long vowel, right? But here the stress pattern changes based on the addition of suffixes, right? Now, if you look at the screen, you have the first point of the I suffixes, right? Now you call it I suffixes or E suffixes. It's a matter of suffix in question, but let's for the time being call them the I suffixes, right? So all of that you see in that group, right? El, yen, shen, shares, years, yent, equal, ik, ix, iti, ifi, if, itiv, itud, ibil, iyam, imam, all of them, right? I hope you're familiar with those words. Okay, let's now maybe look at some of them, right? Can you give me a word, just one word each with all of them? That should be enough for us to demonstrate this. So, can you give me a word with the suffix el? Think about
Fin-
um,
Financial.
okay, financial. Okay, well, financial is one example. So I'm just going to make a note of them here. We are going to discuss the stress in a while, but I'm just going to, for the time being, writing the words so that it's easier for us to discuss while we're looking at the rule. Okay. Then how about words with Ian?
Companion.
Companion, company, companion. Okay, companion. Let's get it.
Ma'am, spelling will be IN or IUN. Like I confused that.
Companion.
Yes, ma'am.
Companion.
IAN.
Companion spelling is IN only. No, it's not ION, right?
Okay, okay, ma'am.
No, sorry, companion is ION, not IAN. Yeah, that's right. So that isn't counted as a, so companion is a different word, which means you do not, there is a suffix, but it is not the IAN suffix, right? Or the EN suffix. That's the ION for the next one. Maybe we can use it for the next one. We anyway have the one following it, no? Companion. So we'll use this one. Then give me one with EN, IAN. That's what we're looking for.
Guardian.
Magician.
Uh, magician, but that's Shin, no, it's not
Ma'am,
Ian.
guardian. Guardian.
Guardian, okay. Let's take
Politician, ma'am.
that also we'll take for Shin, okay. Uh, or maybe, let's see. Guardian, oh, sorry, Guardian. Okay, we'll keep that for the while. Then, what is the next one? Ian, we already did for companion. Then ES. What do you have for ES?
Anxious.
Poisonous.
ES, it is not OUS, it's ES.
I.
Spacious.
Anxious, you can, anxious, I think someone already said you can use anxious. Spacious also is okay, but we'll take anxious, okay? Since that was already discussed. Then next one, ENT. IENT,
Sufficient.
sorry,
Sufficient.
sufficient. Suffice, sufficient. Yeah, sufficient can go. Sufficient. Okay. Then next comes equal. Yeah, equal is an important suffix.
Identical.
Yeah, identical. We can use identical. Mm. Then comes ick.
Ironic.
Ironic. Okay. Ironic is not, it's not a suffix. That's a word by itself. Something else.
Realistic.
Ma'am,
Okay, realistic. Realistic is good to go. We can use
ma'am,
realistic.
beehive.
Sorry,
Ma'am, beehive.
what is that for?
We ending with IVE.
Oh no, no. We'll talk about it as we reach there. We'll take it one by one. So next one is its. IC suffix words.
Politics.
Hmm. Okay, politics. We can use politics. Fine. Politics. Okay. Then ITY.
Compatibility.
Duality.
Compatibility. Okay, we'll use a smaller. Okay, well, maybe we'll just take compatibility only. Compatibility. Okay. Then FI or IFI. Some of the words.
Verify.
Verify, not sure. It might have a root word, but I'm not looking at the root word kind of examples right now. At least we'll begin with looking at something that is easily separatable, right? Easily synthesizable. So what do we use? Let's say beautify, maybe we'll use that. Beautify.
We can use
Beautify.
purify too.
Yeah, you can
Yes,
use
ma'am.
purify. No? That's
Purify.
right. Uh, okay, now comes if. I did not catch your example. What was the thing that you were saying?
Ma'am,
Am
beehive.
No, 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 not beehive. It's a separate word. Beehive is a separate word. It's not a suffix.
Imaginative.
Uh, that is imaginative. It is tiv, no, not IVE. Let's use something that is more
Ma'am,
uh,
native. Imagine.
Create.
Native.
native. Also, no, because you cannot separate it off. Or there might be like a root word, but like I told, I'm not looking at the root word I know some of the words have Latin root words and all that, but I am not looking at it at this point because I don't want to complicate this. We'll use something that is an actual word to which the suffix "iv" is attached. Let's use the thing.
Creative.
We will read creative. Yes, we can use creative. Creative is a good example. We can use that. And then followed by itif,
Habitative.
habitative. Is that a word? Habitative?
Ma'am, positive,
I'm not aware
negative.
of.
Ma'am,
Habitative, I don't think is a word.
Ma'am,
it is,
positive, negative. Is that possible?
No, not positive, negative. That is Eve. Again, that is, it has a problem of the root word. So we don't take that. I
We can
think,
use comparative.
comparative. Yes, comparative is a good example. You can use that. Comparative. Yeah. Okay. Then etude. Etude.
Ma'am, longitude.
Longitude. Something that is more commonly used. Let's say
ma'am,
aptitude.
Attitude. Attitude.
Aptitude. We can use aptitude. Aptitude test, right? So aptitude. Then comes able. Able. Able is also very common.
Audible.
ma'am, flexible.
Uh, okay. Flexible, fine. Flexible is fine. Use flexible. Then imam.
Maximum.
Maximum. Okay. Maximum. And then there's also, oh, there's em also. We missed the em. Em.
I think maximum will have
Ma'am, then minimum.
IMUM,
No,
not
no, no.
IUM.
No, no. Maximum is imam only. There's no problem. This is
Okay.
em.
Yes,
Maximum
ma'am.
doesn't have it.
Selenium.
Selenium. Okay.
Premium.
Any- what is it? Sorry, premium.
Yeah.
Okay, we can take premium.
Medium.
Okay, medium. Okay, medium, I think is a better example. Medium. Okay. So we have all these set of words. The task here is to analyze what happens to the stress in these words, right? So many of them we have financial, you have companion, you have guardian, you have anxious, sufficient, identical, realistic, politics, compatibility, beautify, creative, comparative, aptitude, flexible, maximum, right? All of basically we have listed out the words with each of these suffixes, right? Now the task is to identify how the stress pattern works. Now in each of these e suffixes, what happens? The stress syllable or the syllable that is immediately before one of these suffixes. How does it work? Immediately before one of the suffixes. That is the penultimate, right? Where what is your suffix here? In each of this, you know what your suffixes are now, right? So the syllable that goes immediately before the given suffix is what gets uh, stressed, right? There are certain problems in this though. We need to look at them one by one for that. So if you have the word, let's say, if you understand the rule, then you need to tell me where the stress is going to be. The first word is financial. So if it is the syllable that is before the one with the suffix, then where is it going to be stressed? Penultimate or second last syllable, as people call it.
Ma'am, that A sound. N-A-N.
Not the sound. Don't. I'm asking you the syllable. Syllable is not a sound, right? You need to tell me which syllable is it going to be marked.
CI.
Sorry.
C.
Ma'am, the CI.
No, just tell me the syllable. Though you don't have to bother with the sounds at all here. financial or financial. Some people might say financial, some people might say financial. There could be a difference in both of that. So which syllable are you going to mark first is the question. Where do you think so you know the rule now, right? They've already told you. It's going to be the syllable that's before the suffix. So you need to figure out where is your suffix and where is the syllable. Your syllable in the suffix in the first case is el, right? And which one carries, which syllable carries it? How many syllables, first of all? That's the question. How many syllables?
3.
3, right? So which one carries, out of the 3, which one carries your suffix?
The CI part.
Just say the syllable, no, don't say CI and AI and all that. What is your last syllable in this one? The last syllable is shell here, right? And that is what carries your suffix IAL. And the one that goes before that is nan. And so that is one is going to carry. So pi, nan, shell. That's if shell is the last one, then the penultimate or the one that goes before is obviously nan. So that is where your stress is going to be, right? So nan is the one which carries the stress in the case of financial. This is how it is going to look. Okay. Here. Now, next one is companion. If you apply the same thing, now beware of one thing, not all words in English is going to follow. I think this thing we already discussed. 80 to 85% of the words, or this is roughly the figure. It's not, don't quote me on this, but usually it's 80 to 85% of the corpus in English that's going to follow exactly this, rule system. There are going to be words which will fall out of this rule system because, again, you have borrowed words, you have loan words, you have several other, in the words in English are not actually just from English, right? They could have also originated or have come from other languages as well. So based on the roots in those languages, the stress system could be different. But 80 to 85% of what you have, roughly speaking, will follow these rules. So do not be surprised if the example that you chose doesn't fit that category. There could be cases like that, but more or less, at least in the exams, you won't have that kind of questions. We ensure that we do not ask anything that falls outside the ambit of, the corpus that follows the rule. So here, if you find a few words like that, do not be, shocked that, oh, this doesn't fit the rule. It's likely that you will meet some words like that. In such cases, we'll see if we can, replace it with an example which fits our rule. But to your knowledge, you should know that these kind of, words which do not fall within the category could appear for the reasons I just mentioned. Okay. So companion, let's see if it fits our category. By rule, actually, where should the, you tell me if it follows the rule, where should the stress be?
Ma'am, PAN.
Pan.
Pan, yeah, pan, right? So companion. So if your last, it again has 3 syllables, right? Companion. So the last one is the one which carries your suffix, and hence obviously the one that goes before it is where the stress needs to be marked. Okay. So second syllable, pan, is the one which carries the stress. Companion. Okay. Not companion, companion. Then comes the next one we have here is guardian. Okay, guardian. I have a feeling it is not going to work the same way, but let's see if it works good for us. Guardian. Where do you think, if it follows the rule, where do you think the stress is going to be? How many syllables, first of all, tell me that. How many syllables in this word?
2.
2 syllables.
Right? 2 syllables. So where is your stress going to be?
Um,
Hard.
Gar.
Ma'am, UAR.
Gar.
Hard.
Gar, right? The first syllable. The first syllable is one that is going to carry gar. That's the first syllable, and then followed by jin. That's the second syllable which carries your suffix. But since there are only 2 syllables, obviously it has to move to the first syllable, right? So gar is what carries the stress in this case. Okay. Now, next is anxious. Anxious. Anxious.
Angst. ANX.
ANX.
Don't say ANX and all.
ANX,
Yes,
angst,
angst.
It's not
angst.
okay.
Angst.
Angst. Angst. The first part is what is going to carry it again because only two syllables, right? Then next is sufficient. Sufficient. ENT
Fee.
is
Ma'am,
you have, but
Safai.
uh,
SUFF.
Fee.
Yes, ma'am. Fee.
no. How many syllables? First of all, tell me that.
3.
Ma'am, 3.
And 3.
Okay. And which one carries the stress?
Fee.
The fee part.
The
FI
fee
pattern.
part, right? The fee part. So sufficient. Sufficient, right? That is what is going to carry the stress. Sufficient. Fee part is what is going to, the second syllable fee is what carries the stress. Okay. Next one. Identical. Identical. Please be a little careful with this word. Identical. So your suffix is what in this one? Ical.
Ma'am,
Where is
then.
it to be marked? Sorry. Then. Now
And
here the problem is there's one problem here when you look at this one. How many syllables does this carry?
4
Identical.
syllables.
4
4.
syllables.
4.
4 syllables. And if you're going to take it by the rule that it is going to be stressed before the syllable that carries the suffix, the problem here is that your um, suffix is distributed across two syllables, right? T and kal don't, the last two syllables, both of them carry your suffix, right? So when you're marking the stress, you have to make sure that the suffix is entirely covered, right? Do not go and mark it on T because it is penultimate. A lot of people would commit that error. The way penultimate is the syllable right before the suffix, they would think that okay, suffix is a whole syllable, so anything that goes before it that is going to take the stress. But if your if your suffix is distributed across the syllable, right? Then you need to count both the syllable that carries that suffix and then mark it the one on the one that goes before that particular syllable. Do not mark it on the suffix which is carrying the suffix. Okay, on the syllable which carries the suffix, it should be always the one before it, which means the suffix should not be a part of that syllable. Okay, keep that in mind. Then comes next one is realistic. Okay, realistic.
List.
List.
Less, yeah, correct. Realistic, right? Less is the one which is going to carry it. Good. Okay. Then politics. Politics. This is ICS. Politics. How do you say politics?
Ma'am,
You
lead.
say
LI.
politics.
Lead.
Ha,
Lead.
ha.
Okay.
Okay.
Paul.
Okay. You tell me how many. First of all, how many syllable in this?
3 syllable.
3 syllables,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
And the last one carries the X. But politics, again, because this is a word that has not originated in English, this carries a little different stress pattern. Ideally, it should have been on the second syllable, but politics works a little differently. For politics, the stress is on the first syllable. It's politics, not politics. Okay. Also because of its Latin Greek origin. So let's see if we can find some other word with X which follows this pattern. X. Can you give me something else? We can check it and then use this. This one doesn't fit your rule. Obviously, it's a
Ma'am,
borrowed.
do we pronounce it as politics or politics?
Politics.
Politics. Politics.
Okay, ma'am.
It's all politics.
Politics is a Greek word or English word, ma'am? You said.
It might have Greek or Latin roots. A lot of them, even including words like physics and statistics,
Mathematics.
inorganics.
Ma'am,
Mathematics, again, mathematics also has a Greek Latin root. Okay. I'm trying to take something that may not be, let's say, let's try phonetics. Okay, I think phonetics might work. Uh,
Acrobatics exercise.
uh Yeah, phonetics. We'll check phonetics. If it doesn't work, then we'll check acrobatics. Yeah, I think phonetics work well because this is something that is more uh, modern in usage, not as old as so politics and mathematics, physics. All of them have, like I told you, Greek Latin roots, either Greek or Latin. I'm not sure. One of them for because Greek and Latin again, even in Greece, both Greek and Latin were very commonly used. So they again have a mix of a lot of Latin in their own language. So we really do not know which of this language takes the root, but because of this influence, it does not really follow the stress pattern that we are trying to establish, but phonetics does. Okay. So if that's the case, then where are you going to mark the stress for phonetics? Phonetics.
No.
Na.
Ma'am,
Phonetics.
nah.
Phonetics. Yeah. So the second syllable, which is na, phonetics, right? Not phonetics, phonetics, right? So this one fits well. This follows the rule. Okay. Let's see which one we have. After that, we have, I think,
Compatibility.
compatibility. Yeah, compatibility. Compatibility should so
Bill.
compatibility.
Ma'am,
What is our
Bill.
thing? T. Bill. It should ideally be on bill, right? So you have compatibility, and it should ideally be on bill. And yes, that's right. Okay.
Ma'am, it
So,
will be on B, right?
it's on B. That's right. B
Okay.
late. Yeah, so on B because the last two syllables they carry the suffix, right? So we cannot
Ma'am,
use them. So the that goes before it is B.
B or
Ma'am, are
BIL?
you sharing?
B, not
Only
bill.
B.
Yeah, because the last two are two different syllables. No compatibility. You have two different syllables there. It is not part of B. B late. So on B. B is where you're going to mark. Okay.
Okay, okay. Ma'am.
Yeah. Then comes beautify. Okay. Let's see if beautify
Ma'am, are
fits.
you sharing a screen? I can see the word.
Yeah, it is. No, it's not on the screen. It's in your chat box. Please check it there.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Beautify.
Ma'am, View.
You have
T.
how many syllables in this?
Ma'am, 3.
Three, right? You have three, and the syllable we are looking at is E5.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
this one again is distributed across two
That's
syllables. So the one that goes before that would be bio, right? So bio is where you're going to stress it. Okay. Then creative. Next one is creative.
A.
Creative.
Create.
So this
Ah,
comes from
Create,
the word
create.
create. Sorry.
Ma'am, it's create.
Create.
ma'am, A.
As in it.
Ma'am, ah,
So creative, right? There are three syllables in this word.
ma'am,
One is
A.
then a, and then tiv. A is it's a, um,
Stress.
how do I say? Uh, it's an open syllable, so it doesn't have any. It's just the nuclei alone. Cre followed by a and then tiv, right? So three syllables. So tiv is the one which carries your suffix, and the one that goes before it is a, right? A. That syllable is the one which carries your stress. So creative. Second syllable a is the one that carries the stress because that is the syllable right before the one carrying the suffix if. That's fine. Now, comparative. So this is itive. Comparative. How many syllables? Comparative.
Um, 4.
4.
Comparative. Yes, 4. So where are you going to mark it? This is easy.
Pair.
Pair. It's on pair. So you have comparative. Again, in this case, you have a syllable which is on its own, right? Like in the previous case. Comparative, right? So is your penultimate syllable. Now, can you tell me why you are not marking? Why we are marking on pair and not a? Because it's a part of the thing, right? Your suffix is ative. So obviously you cannot mark on it. The one that comes before it is the one which you will have to use. So pair is
Ma'am,
the
it
one
was
which comes
distributed.
before. Sorry.
Ma'am, it was distributed, right?
Is it distributed? Yeah, it is distributed. So you have and tiv on two different one. Yes, correct. So it's distributed and it's part of the suffix. So we cannot use that. You definitely use the one goes before it. Okay, pair.
Okay.
Comparative. Correct. Then comes next one is
Aptitude.
aptitude. Yeah,
Aptitude.
correct. Aptitude. So we are looking at which one? We are looking at etude. Okay. Aptitude.
App.
How many syllables in aptitude again?
Ma'am,
3.
3 syllables.
3 syllables, correct. And a carries it, right? So it's etude
Yeah,
and
ma'am.
it's distributed again across 2 syllables. So as the one which carries your stress. Okay, good. Now, next one we have flexible.
Flex.
Flexible. Flex. Okay. So able
Yes, ma'am, flex.
suffix. So you only have flex left here. So obviously it's going to be marked on the first syllable flex. Okay. Then comes maximum. Maximum. So imam is your
Max.
again same thing, right? You only have one thing left here. So we are forced to mark it on the first syllable. Nothing much to look at. Then last one we had was with em, I guess medium.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Again,
Me.
medium will also have the same thing, right?
Ma'am,
So only
yeah.
2 syllables and sorry, 3 syllables. And since the suffix is distributed across 2, you're only left with the first syllable and you mark it on the first one. Okay, so me, first one, me is the one which carries your stress, medium. Okay, all right, good enough. So all these I group of suffixes, then you need to know that the stress is marked on the syllable right before the syllable that carries your suffix or what is also called as the penultimate syllable. Okay. Now the next category, the OR, ER, LY, Y, right? If you have any of these on the words, then the stress is where it's on the first syllable. Okay. So LY we know there are many adverbs that we have with LY. So all of them are going to be marked on the first syllable. Is that right? So you have
Yes,
a word like suddenly, or you have lovely, or anything. These are all commonly used adverbs of manner. So most of them are then stressed on the first syllable. Okay, and then the er suffixes, right? Very commonly found in words like teacher, singer, dancer, right? So these again are going to be stressed on their first syllable, right? And then any with OR, can you give me a few examples with OR?
doctor.
So OR is again, not very easily separable from the English words because OR again has an origin, I think, in Latin, right? It's a Latin suffix which has been taken to English, has been borrowed into English. So some of the examples that you can find may not be as easily available, but yeah, we can try. Right. So let's discuss a few. Say something like actor or educator, director. They all are
Doctor.
with OR, right? Ends in the OR suffix. Now, all of them are going to be marked on the first syllable, right? Director. Okay, not director. It's a director. Then you have doctor, right? You have educator, right? Now, I am interested in looking at the word educator because educator is also something that is derived, So a little caution needs to be exercised in case of words that are derived, because sometimes what happens, we are not sure where this has come from. Okay. We do not know if it has earlier been a verb, and if it hasn't been a verb and has been converted from a verb to a noun, then we know that verbs follow a different kind of stress pattern, right? Especially the two syllable verbs, it's going to be marked on the second syllable, right? So if that is the case, we need to be a little careful. So let's look at educator and see if this word has a problem like that. Actor will not have it because obviously it only has two syllables. So obviously the stress is going to be the first syllable, right? But in educator, since you have three, we need to be a little careful. Let's see educate, right, first. So if you have a word like educate, this is what? Educate is a verb, right? And where is the stress marking in educate in this verb? Usually two syllable verbs, they should carry the stress on the second syllable. But again, educate is a word which does not follow this category, right? Here, even in the verb educate, the stress is on the first syllable, that is on edu, right? Even that, when you convert educate to educator, right, into a noun, adding the or, the stress pattern does not change. It remains on the first syllable, right? But that's not the case with, say, something like say, computer. Okay. Let's look at compute first. Compute is again what? It's a disyllabic verb. We know disyllabic verb needs to be stressed on the second syllable. So compute, right? You can check it. I'm not, I'm leaving that up to you. Of course, you have dictionaries both offline and online. So you can take a look at it. So this is how the word compute, which is a verb and it's a disyllabic verb, is going to be written. It has its stress on the second syllable. That is the case for most of the verbs, right? The stress is always on the second syllable, disyllabic verbs. So when this compute becomes computer, you add er, right? You give a what is that? The suffix to it and becomes computer, right? Then what happens to the stress? Does the stress move? No, it's a noun. It's a trisyllabic noun. Does anything happen to the stress here? Will the stress pattern change? No. Okay. It remains on the same thing. So if you have computer, then it's going to remain like this. Okay. Compute, computer, right? And the reason being the stress pattern or the stress marking on the verbs are quite stronger than that on other word classes. So if the given word is a verb and the verb carries it on the second syllable, then unless it is a strong suffix like an I suffix or any other kind of suffix, then the stress pattern remains the same. It doesn't change. At least suffixes like or, er, ly, and y cannot change it. Okay. If the suffix used is one of these, then the stress is retained or it remains on the original syllable. Okay. That's the point. But if you're using some other suffixes, like the first set of suffixes that we discussed, right? I suffixes, they are more weighty. So they have the capability of causing a change in the stress pattern, even if it is a verb. But in suffixes like or, er, ly, given the word is a verb and the verb, disyllabic verb, carries it on a second syllable, addition of this suffix is not going to change it, right? Because the verb stress is more weighty, it's more strong, it's stronger than the addition of the suffix or the stress of the suffix or, er, ly. This you need to keep in mind. However, in case of educator, since educate is a verb which is already stress marked on the first syllable, right? This is how educate is stressed. Educate. It's not educate, right? So again, like we discussed, when you're adding or or er or any other kind of or, ly, or y to such verbs, stress pattern does not change, right? Again, it is retained on the first syllable. Okay. The original verb, wherever the stress falls, when you add the or, er, ly, or y suffix to it, the stress pattern is retained. Okay. Because the verb stress marking is stronger than the other form. Okay. Is this point clear? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. So then we move on to the third category of suffixes, which is the able, ARY, shin, shil, ERY, graphy, lagi, tul, right? Again, just like your other I suffixes, right? The first category. Where is the stress? The stress is again on the word that, on the syllable that comes immediately before the last syllable, or the syllable that carries the suffix. I say last syllable because it's a suffix, right? So obviously it has to be on either the last one or both the second last and the last. Okay. So here again, same rule, stress on the syllable right before the one that carries the suffix, right? We can look at some examples if you want. So able, suffix words, anything that you have, able suffix.
Financiable.
Sorry?
Financiable.
No.
Perishable.
Available.
Perishable. Okay. Perishable. Good example.
Differentiable.
Yes.
Adjustable.
We just need one. Perishable is fine. Perishable, right? So where is your stress going to be on? Perishable.
Ma'am, achievable.
No, let's look at perishable. We already have an example. We'll see how the stress pattern works. So perishable.
Ish.
Perishable. Okay, perishable again, I see that it is not something that fits your. The reason being it's actually a verb. That's why. Okay, let's not take the verb examples. Verb examples are going to create troubles. What other examples did you have for able?
Available.
Adjustable.
Comfortable.
That is able, right? Not able. Comfortable. Okay, let's check comfortable. Comfortable. So where are you going to mark this? Comfortable. Comfortable.
First part.
Oh, even comfort, no. Even comfort is also something that is used as a verb too. So that is also not following the pattern that we want.
Probable.
Prob is again a
Reasonable.
verb, no? And it also is a one syllable. If you don't have at least something that carries 3 or 4, we cannot demonstrate.
Reasonable.
Reason, again, I think we'll have the same because they're used as both noun and verb.
Memorable.
Yes.
Okay. Memorable. Okay, we'll try memorable. Let's try memorable. So, memorable, where are you going to mark it? It's again, yeah. So this one is on the second one. So memorable, right? So the, what is that? The syllable that carries right before the one that carries the suffix, right? So in this category, then you need to be a little careful because if you have like a verb, right, then verbs can actually change, like we saw in the case of educate and compute, right? These kind of issues could crop up in this one. So if it is a noun, then we don't have a problem. We can go ahead and apply the rule. But with verbs, be a little careful. Okay, although I don't think you will get questions exam on that. Okay, we'll take the second one then. ARY.
Dictionary.
Visionary.
Dictionary.
Visionary. Yeah, we can use some of them. Maybe let's first look at dictionary and see how it works. Dictionary. So check it first before saying. Yeah, so where is the stress?
DIC.
Stress should be on.
DIC.
Sorry, what is it? Sorry.
DIC.
Dictionary, no, but then ERY, if it carries it on the syllable before,
Ma'am, shun. I think shun.
yeah, it should be on Shan, but I think we need to check if it is right. We need to first check if the dictionary, but I think it shouldn't be on Shan. It should be on the first one, although it doesn't fall within the category.
Ma'am, it's not distributed, so we can spot it. I think shun.
That is fine, but I told you now there are words which may not follow this pattern. There are some words which may take its own stress force. So I need to actually check if these words are marked on the second one or not. My feeling is that dictionary may not have it on the second one. It should be on the first one. Yeah, dictionary doesn't. Like I said, dictionary has it on the first syllable. So we can't use that example. Okay.
Then ma'am, library.
Library.
Ma'am, it will be distributed in the library.
In library.
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe I think we should dictionary. Dictionary is on first one for sure. We'll use the example primary. I think that will help us demonstrate the stress distribution better. Okay, can you tell me what would be this for primary? How many syllables in primary?
Primary.
Three.
Three syllables. Primary, right? And then the last one, it's distributed across two also, right? Primary. So the airy is distributed on the second and the third.
Mary. It's distributed.
Right.
Correct. So now where is the stress?
Pry.
Right.
Prime, right? So pry is your syllable right before the syllable that carries stress. Okay. Finally, we have a word which follows. So primary is then an example where airy, or rather, airy is usually the stress is marked right before the syllable which carries the suffix, the one before the one that carries the suffix. So in certain cases, you might see a fluctuation or some kind of changes, or cases where it actually doesn't fit the rule, and the reasons are still the same, like what I told you. Some of these words could be the ones that are either borrowed or loaned from other languages, so they probably do not fit this pattern of the modern English. But primary is one good example. Okay, you don't worry about it. I don't think your exam would carry anything of that sort, so no problem. Now shin, you can find a lot of examples. I'll just give you
Musician.
Magician.
Okay, musician. I can use musician. So if you're saying musician, then where is the stress going to be? Musician.
Z.
C.
Huh? Musician. Okay. Musician. Right. So shen is the last one. So you're going to have it on C.
Z.
Correct. Musician. Okay. Then shell.
Social.
No. That is yell. No. This is shell.
IAL.
This is provincial.
Social.
Commercial.
We'll use provincial. Okay, provincial is a good word because it has more syllables. Provincial. How many syllables in provincial? Provincial.
Ma'am, 3.
Three.
Three, right? So you have provincial. And where is your stress according to the rule?
Win.
Win.
Ma'am, win.
Okay, win. So second one, win. Because shell is the last one and the one before that is win. So provincial has win as the stress. ERY. Oh, this is again a problem. All these ERY, ARI kind of things can create troubles. Okay. Anyway, let's see. ERY.
Discovery.
Discovery. Discovery. Okay, we can use that, but let's see if we have some other.
Archery.
Discovery is fine, actually. We can look at discovery only. So discovery, where do you think we know
Cow.
where it is going to be, but we need to check if it is correct. As per the rule, where should it be? Discovery.
Cow. Cow.
Second
Curve.
one, curve. Discovery. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, discovery. This one fits. Thankfully, this one fits. Okay, discovery has this. Then graphy. Graphy also. Let's see.
Photography.
Photography. Okay, photography. So where is the stress going to be?
Ta.
Top.
To. To.
The photography. So yes, photography. Correct.
Ma'am,
That's-
geography.
Geography, but it just has one syllable, right? So obviously it has to be on the first syllable, geo, followed by graphy,
Okay.
right?
Okay,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Then logy.
Analogy.
Biology. Biology.
Ma'am, archaeology.
Okay, we'll use analogy. Anyway, that was the first one that was said. Analogy. Analogy. So where will you mark it? How many syllables? Analogy.
3.
3. Yes,
Four.
correct. Oh, yeah. 4. Sorry. 4.
Ma'am, 4. Analogy.
Correct.
yeah.
4. Analogy. Correct. And where is it going to be marked in this one in analogy?
Ma'am, na.
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 On na, right? The second one na, because logy is again distributed across syllables. So the one that has it is na. We'll use this. Okay. Next comes tell. Tell.
Mental. Mental.
Mental. Okay.
Dental.
Dental. Okay. Something that has a little, few
Ma'am, incidental.
more.
Capital. Capital.
Okay. Incidental has AL, not tell, right? We're looking for something that has tell. Mental is
Capital.
fine, but it's just that I need words which have a bit more
Ma'am, ornamental.
syllables.
Fundamental.
Ornamental is again AL, no? Fundamental. Okay. Let me see if I can come up with, but most of them are with disyllabic. I'm looking for something that is polysyllabic so that it's easier for us to understand.
Instrumental.
But fundamental have more than two.
Instrument is also AL, no? Not tell. We are looking for tell, not AL. Instrument is instrument in AL, right? So instrumental.
Experimental.
Experiment again is AL, no? Not AL. Let's think about it. I think we might have to work with brutal mental kind of examples. Okay, anyway, we'll look at the fun mental. If there's anything that comes up immediately, I will check. Sorry.
Me-
So if it is mental, then what is the
Men.
Men.
Yeah, obviously, right? Okay, yeah, I think I have another word. We can use this one instead of mental. Yeah, man. So in mental, obviously, it is men. Let's use this word. It's a battle. A battle, right? Battle. This one. So how many syllable does it have?
3.
You have a, but, and then tal. Okay, so you have 3 in this. And where is it going to be marked?
Ma'am, but.
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 On but, right? On but. So that one is but only because the last one is just the suffix tal. Okay. So a followed by but and then tal. In this one, the second one, because tal is your last one and the one that goes before it is but. So obviously the second one is the one that is going to be marked. Okay. Right.
And then what
uh,
will be the meaning of this word?
Of abatil.
Yes, ma'am.
Abatil comes from the word abat, abutting actually. Abatil is something that is associated with it. So abatil basically means, boundary lines of a land. Okay.
Okay.
Boundary lines of a land, maybe say in relation to its adjoining areas. Okay, that is abatil.
Okay.
What were we looking at? Yeah, so this one is over. So this category, again, we have seen how this one works. Then I'll just change the slide. I think there's one more thing that I need to discuss with respect to suffix, few more. Bees, ease, eek, and ate, right? Now, I think when we were discussing the disyllabic and trisyllabic adjectives and nouns, I told you that the stress would shift onto the word which carries the diphthong or the long vowel, right? So same thing applies to these words also. Here again, the stress is on the syllable carrying these suffixes because they carry long vowels and diphthongs in them. So e, right? Trainee, ease, Chinese, eek, right? Critique, right? It, etiquette, right? All of them carry long vowels, either long vowels or diphthongs. So if your syllable carries in a word, if you have a syllable that carries a diphthong or a long vowel, then as per rule, the stress has to be on the syllable which carries the the syllable with the long vowel or the diphthong, right? So in a word like trainee, although it's a disyllabic word, noun, and it should be ideally on the first syllable, you shift the stress to the second syllable because that syllable carries a long vowel E, right? Same goes for a word like refugee. Again, trisyllabic, although noun, it should be marked on the first syllable, but we mark it on the last one because it carries a long vowel, right? So same is the case for all the suffixes that you see on screen. So it's e, is, eek, and it. Okay, all of them. Any word that carries these one will have the stress on the suffix itself because it has a long vowel in it. Okay, and then the last category you have al, ale, s, full, ish, less, li, hood, ship. These are the kind of suffixes which do not bring about any change. Okay, you add these suffixes to any word, the stress on the original word is retained, right? One good example is the ship example. Okay, we will use a word with the suffix ship on it. So say friendship. Okay, so where is the stress on the word friend? Friend, F-R-I-N-D, friend. Where is the stress on friend?
Ma'am, it's monosyllabic, right?
It is monosyllabic.
Ma'am, at the end, I think. End.
And
At the end, okay. At the end, no. In friend, where is it?
No, ma'am, friend only. End part. Friend. End.
and
Okay. So it's on the first syllable, not on the. It only has one syllable, right? It has friend, right? So it has to be on the first syllable. That's the only syllable available. So it's going to be on the word friend itself. Okay. So you add anything, not anything. If you add, suffixes like ship, or you add something like meant, or hood, or lee, or anything to words like this, right? Or these suffixes, when you add to any of the given words, they do not usually change the stress. Wherever the stress is on the first, on the given word, the stress is retained there. So look at this one. When ship. Okay. Another example is with the suffix meant. So our example or our word is going to be government. Okay, government. And in this one, what's your original word? Your actual word, the stem is what? One of the stem is govern. Right? This is the word from which you have derived government, correct? And what is govern? Govern is a verb. And in disyllabic verb, govern is a disyllabic verb, by the way. And the stress is on the second syllable in disyllabic verb. So govern, this is how it is. Now, when you make it government, that is when you add the suffix ment to it, you don't witness any change in the stress, no shift in the stress pattern. So it's going to be like this. If you're going to even add the word men to it, the suffix men to it, it's going to be government, right? This way. Okay. So no change in the stress pattern, right? So these suffixes are then called neutral suffixes because they do not bring about any change in the stress pattern of the given word. Yeah, is that clear? So all of those, the one which carries AL or ALLY, it's given ESS. I think it's a typo there. I meant NESS. Okay, NESS as in the word happiness. Okay, so happy and ness, happy. Original stress on the given word because again monosyllabic. You add ness to it, no change, no shift in the stress because ness is a neutral suffix. Similarly, you have full, you have ish, you have less, the, could, should, meant. All of them are called neutral suffixes because you add them to a word and you see absolutely no change in the stress pattern of the word. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I think we are good to go with this one. We have covered most of what we need to discuss in this part on the stress uh, marking in English. And I think next week would be the last class for you people. So we'll just be doing the worksheet. Okay, we're only going to do the worksheet this for the last one. I think the discussion part is entirely over and we don't have any other topics left as far as I see. So meanwhile, keep looking at these rules so that last we can next class we can discuss the worksheet. I think also the aspiration part remains, but that we will discuss as we solve the questions on stress. Okay, because there's nothing much to discuss on that. Just one or two rules that we'll discuss as we solve the worksheet next class. Okay, but by and large, I think this is all you need to know in terms of stress marking for your course and for your syllabus. I think this is more than enough.
Ma'am, in govern,
There's and other things. Yeah. Go ahead.
ma'am, in govern is a verb, right?
Govern is a verb. Yeah, correct. That's right.
So, ma'am, in two syllable disyllabic verbs, we basically stress the second part, right? Earn.
Or
But, ma'am,
verbs.
you said, yeah, ma'am.
Hmm.
But
That's
you
right. So
said
what's the question?
go. Ma'am, you just now said no that in govern, that part that is the stressed part.
No, no, no. I said second syllable. You see, look at the chat box now. See how is it done? Govern. So it's still marked on the second syllable only.
Okay. Ma'am, that actually apostrophe, that part was confusing. Okay, ma'am, understood.
Okay. All right. So we'll continue in the next session. Then we'll just mostly be solving the exercise. Okay. Right. All right. See you all next week again. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sure. Sure. Thank you so much.